This is Tata's latest flagship SUV, and I personally don't want to call this a Safari. But do I have a choice? Well, I don't think so. I'm driving the Mammoth today and I would tell you everything that this car brings to the table. Hit the like, share button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. First, let's take a quick look of what the new Safari is up against. The predecessor was more individualistic and taller. The discontinued Safari Storm was powered by a 2.2-litre diesel engine with only manual transmission as option. The 2021 Safari is wider and longer and gets a 2-litre diesel with both automatic and manual gearboxes. When pitted against the Harrier, the new Safari is longer by 63mm and taller by 80mm. Both the cars have the same set of engine and gearbox options. I would recommend you to go to a Tata dealership, take a look of Safari along with the Harrier, and you would be able to notice the changes, like it's taller and it looks more beefier. Now, I would touch upon the key highlights that you get in Safari's design. The grille looks similar but gets chrome touches, and these chrome beads are signature tri-arrow design that Tata employs in most of its cars. The lower half, if you look at the bumper, instead of black you get silver accent. The headlamp unit is the same. You have those HID headlamps. Moving on to the sides, now you get 18-inch alloy wheels, one size up over the Harrier. Now there's not much difference till you hit the C-pillar. Now this is a quarter glass edition, which would somewhat remind you of the discontinued Safari. Also you get this Safari badging in chrome on top, and you have a roof rail. Now this variant that I have with me gets sunroof, so the roof rail is not functional. Now in case you are opting a Safari without a sunroof, this can take a load up to 130 kilos. Moving on to the back, now you can see one look, it's more upright now, and that's largely because of accommodating the third row seat. You have a glossy applique right in the middle, similar looking tail lamps, but the overall design is more upright, more on your face. Safari badging on the tailgate, and you have this silver accent on the bumper. Something I would have wanted here is electric tailgate, which is not the case here, and it requires quite a bit of effort to take it off. Now all the three doors are up. You can see how much of boot space there is. Literally nothing, but one touch and it goes down, which gives you some extra cargo space. Time to get into the third row and tell you how it feels like. Safari will come in both 6-seater and 7-seater option. This one gets captain seats in the middle. You get a lever, pull it down, pull it forward. Now getting in through here is little tricky and requires a bit of practice as well. Now Tata promises this third row is conducive for adults as well. Now I am not sure about that, but I am 5 foot 8 inches tall and I can comfortably squeeze in for an hour or two of journeying around. You see, the backrest angle is very nice. You get adjustable headrest. Also you have enough headroom. The legroom is also fine. I think it's better than most 6 and 7-seater cars in the market, but slight bit of disappointment comes in the way that there's almost no thigh support, so that can be little uncomfortable if you are putting long journey. But what Tata has really done good about the third row is that it's airy, and that's largely because of the fact that it gets quite a big quarter glass. Also you have dedicated aircon vent, you have dedicated USB charging port, and you have smart touches like you have a pocket here a cup holder here. So overall, I think it's a good balance. It's not extravagant in terms of space, but it's better than most of the rivals in the segment. How much did you know about Harrier? Well, if you knew that SUV closely, you would be familiar with the cabin of the Safari as well. First and foremost, you get light colored interior instead of the tan brown that came with a Harrier. Apart from that, the dashboard design remains more or less the same. The color pattern has changed. You have soft touch material on top of the dash, a wooden finish right in the middle, a silver panel under it, and you have a glove box which has got this light cream color, whatever you want to say. Now the floating type 8.8-inch infotainment system stays the same, but it's connected now. This is the third car in the Tata portfolio to come with Aira connectivity. Nexon, Altroz, and now Safari. The display has not changed, but it's connected car, so you get quite a new features. Now most things remain the same. The touch knobs, the buttons, the aircon vents, they are carried forward from the Harrier. In fact, the semi-digital instrument cluster is also the same as Harrier. The steering wheel is nice and hefty, would remind you of the same heavy feel, bulky feel of Harrier. The front seats are electrically adjustable. Yes, they are 6-way powered. One of the main differences you find inside Safari is how the central console looks like, because that airpad style dash braking system has been removed. You get electric brake for the first time. Yes, electric brake switch, a parking switch right in the middle. This is the automatic variant, so here is the gear lever, and you have one rotary dial on top of that which takes you through different levels of traction control. I don't know whether that affects you or not, but Tata has given more than 6 USB ports inside the Safari, and I believe that's a way of compensating for the wireless dash charging. A new addition to the Safari is this huge panoramic sunroof, which Tata claims is one of the largest in the segment. One diesel engine, 2 transmission options, 3 drive modes. The configuration under the hood is similar to the Harrier. 170 PS power, 350 Nm of torque. The Cryotech 2-liter diesel engine comes in the same configuration in Hector and the Jeep Compass as well. Since the introduction of Hyundai-sourced automatic, I have never looked back to the manual Harrier. I have a similar feeling with the Safari as well. Overcome the initial turbo lag, there is a sense of urgency after 2000 RPM. For the manual, the clutch lever is heavy and the gear has got long throws. Automatic just makes life so much more easy. The hefty steering wheel, the pliant ride quality reminds you of the Harrier. Well, I must remind you, due to the addition of third row, the Safari is around 75 kilos heavier than the Harrier, but that does not deter the engine from pulling the Safari cleanly. In fact, the acceleration is brisk, it's smooth and it's linear. Now there are a couple of gaps Tata should plug in the Safari. Firstly, projected for family buyers, the Safari would be driven by father and son alike, which means hefty steering wheel may not be equally appreciated. What dampens the feel is the significantly intrusive body roll around the corners. Secondly, the A-pillar is too thick for my liking, and a quarter glass in there would have improved the overall visibility. On the flip side, Safari is a terrific car to drive long distances. It is well planted at triple digits and the stability on highway is one to beat. No Safari can be a Safari unless it proves authority off-road. The new gen Avatar is not a 4x4, but we still gave it a shot. and I must admit it is a modern urban SUV with little experience of what its predecessor was capable of. The new Safari is a monocoque and not a body on frame like the earlier one. In simple words, I was not happy with what I experienced on the bad trails. Now, Tata Motors is known for the safety equipment kit that comes with its cars, and Safari is no different in this case. It is built on the Omega Arc platform, the same derivative of Land Rover's iconic D8 platform that also underpins the Harrier. So undoubtedly it's very robust and it has potential to go electric and also host 4x4 and petrol powertrains. In terms of equipment, you have up to 6 airbags, you have ESC, you have hill hold, and you have plenty of other features that come as standard in most of the cars in this segment. Now I leave it on you to decide about the looks, features, and most importantly the Safari nameplate. What I can safely tell you today is that the diesel engine is one smooth performer and a powerful one too. On top of that, Safari gets decent ride and handling. Now if Tata gets the pricing right, what we expect to start around 15 lakh ex-showroom, this is one of the best suited 6 or 7 seater SUVs out there in the market. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned with Times of India Auto for further news and updates.